more than a mile long. But as builders began work on the terminal's massive foundation, they made a chilling discovery. Ocean tides were forcing groundwater up into the foundation. If not corrected, that groundwater would push the terminal off its foundation. All 6 million square feet of it. Engineers knew they couldn't fight the force of the tides. They needed to find a way to secure the building against that steady pressure. Using massive hammer drivers, they pounded huge concrete piles into the earth, each weighing 25 tons. The piles went through the landfill down to the ocean floor, effectively nailing the terminal to the bedrock. With the foundation secured, work on the terminal itself could begin. It was to be the crown jewel of the entire project. A passenger terminal of epic proportion. Its unique design was symbolic of flight. But just as construction was about to begin, project managers came to another disturbing realization. There was simply no way they could build the terminal fast enough to make the looming deadline. Project managers were forced to enter a new series of negotiations with the Chinese, who were getting ready to assume control of Hong Kong in less than 2 years. While negotiations continued, engineers pressed ahead with the daunting task of raising the terminal roof. Luckily, the design itself was remarkably simple. It was made up of a repeating lattice of steel trusses that could be mass-produced on a gargantuan scale. Builders set up an enormous assembly line to build 136 identical roof segments, each weighing 140 tons and crafted out of more than 100,000 individual pieces. But the roof segments were so large, they couldn't be moved with existing equipment. So engineers came up with this. A behemoth robotic transport crane, piloted by a single operator with a remote control. Once at the site, giant cranes stretching 20 stories high carefully lifted each piece into place. On the other side of the island, workers erected the airport's air cargo terminal. A state-of-the-art facility, it was designed to handle the flood of containers that would pour through the airport every day. July 1st, 1997. The day of the handover is here. For the first time ever, a democratic society with a free market economy is turned over to communist control without a shot fired or a voice raised in protest. But there's a hitch. The airport is not finished. And now China is in the driver's seat. engineers are afraid that the Chinese will pull the plug and abandon the project so close to completion. They do not. Realizing that the airport is crucial for Hong Kong's survival, the Chinese agree to 1 additional year to complete the project. But construction teams know that's not enough time. That's because the airport will utilize a vast array of new technologies, including new systems for air traffic control, flight information, customs screening, and security. The 1-year deadline leaves insufficient time for testing these new systems. But on July 6, 1998, time was up. 7 years of round-the-clock construction, a $20 billion price tag, and 10 million man-hours had come down to this. One final challenge, perhaps the most ambitious of all. Shut down the old airport, divert all traffic, pack up staff and equipment, and relocate to the new airport in just 7 hours. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, Cathay Pacific Flight 889 crosses over Hawaii. If all goes according to plan, it'll be the first plane to touch down at the new airport at 6:30 a.m. But for now, it's a Hail Mary pass. Because the new airport is still not operational. At 1:17 a.m., the runway lights at the old Kai Tak Airport are switched off for the last time.
Goodbye, Kai Tak, and thank you.
The massive road, rail, air, and sea lift gets underway. It will take more than 800 trips to ferry the critical contents to the new Hong Kong International Airport. As the sun rises on July 7th, 1998, the new air traffic control makes contact with its first customer.
Southern 307 Corey Park.
At 6:25 a.m., Flight 889 touches down on the north runway. Hong